third day in Mendoza. We're here now on a wine tour. This is the first of our 3 wineries. We're here at a winery called Trapiche. So we're going to start the tour in just a moment, so stay with us because the next part will be where we have a guide to explain the history of the winery.
Start with the history of that winery. That winery was built on 1912 by Don Angel Cavagnaro, a very important Italian winemaker. Then he sold the winery because the consumption of wine here in Argentina go down. On 1912 was 90 liters per person per year. On 1970 that was 40 liters per person per year. Why? Because on 1912 was all water or wine. On 1970 and today you have a lot of drinks like the cokes, like the beers, like the liquor. For that reason the consumption of wine goes down. He sold the winery in 1970 and the winery was abandoned for 36 years. Trapiche buy this winery in 2006, restored the winery for here only produce the high quality wines of Trapiche. If you ask me where is the main winery of Trapiche, who produce the table wines, the popular wines, are that one who is the biggest winery in Argentina. The capacity of that winery is 100 million liters per year. It's a lot. In that winery, in the smaller, we produce the sparkling and the white wines, and in the biggest we produce the red wines. The pyramid in the middle is a very important tasting room who arrive the importers of all parts of the world to taste our wine and buy our wine. Here we are in the old barrel side. You know, the high quality wines after the fermentation are come here to stay, depending wine, a little of time. Here, in that side, we have 850 oak barrels. The 20% are American oak, the 80% are French oak. The difference between the American and the French one are the color, the aroma, and the smell, and the taste who make the wine. Some wines stay in both, a mix. Some other wines stay on the French one or just in American. We use that oak barrels only for 4 times, 4 different wines. The first wine we use the barrels, for example, depending variety or depending if it's a white wine or a red wine. An example, a Malbec, okay? The first Malbec we use, the oak barrels stay 18 months into the oak barrels. The second one stay a little less than the first one, the second one a little less than the second one, and the fourth one a little less than the third one. For example, the first one we use stay 18 months, the second one stay 15 months, the third one stay 12, and the last one, the fourth one, stay 9 months. After that, we sell it or we use for more popular wines, because the high quality wines need the new oak. The capacity of that oak barrels are 225 liters and the cost for the French oak barrels are 1,000 euros, are really, really expensive because the oak is not a normal wood, it's not a cheap wood. And you know, in US and France produce that oak barrels just with hand jobs. It's hand job.
And no oak in South America.
Yeah, maybe they are oak in South America or in Asia, for example, but no factories of that oak barrels, you know, because are really, really hard to produce. It's a hand job. It's a very, very special work.
Well, we're at the end of the tour of this winery. We're at my favorite part, which is the wine tasting. What we've seen so far, just previous of course, is a little bit of the history of the pressing of the grapes, how they take care of the very special wines in the wooden barrels, because most of the wine that they sell is fermented in stainless steel vats. But here we are at the tasting room, so please stay with us. We're going to taste some very fine Malbec wines in just a moment. Alright, so we're going to have our first wine, which is a white wine, and that's the way you do it in wine tastings, is you start with the whites, and you start with the heavy whites first, such as Sauvignon Blanc, and then move to the Chardonnays, or I'm sorry, I had that backwards. Start with the Chardonnays, then with the lighters, and then with the red wines, you start with the light red wines and move to the heavy ones, because if you started the other way around, the previous taste of the heavy red wines would overwhelm the lighter ones. So the heavy red wines, of course, are things like Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet, Merlot. The lighter ones, like Shiraz and Mel Blanc.
Get in there and play.
In 2010, who stayed 9 months into the old barrels. The white wines can't stay more than 9 months because are not too strong. And if you put the white wine more than 9 months, when you taste that wine, taste a lot of wood, you know, a lot more oaky than the normal, and it's not the idea. The idea is equilibrate the oaky, the wood level with the fruit, with the wine, you know. Here in Argentina we have very, very good white wines, but the Argentinians not drink a lot of white wine. Why? Because here our emblematic grape is the Malbec and it's red, and here we eat a lot of meat, you know that. And the combination with the meat are the red wines. All the food we have are for drink with red wine. Okay, here you have the basic steps to taste the wines. The first one is the view. In the white wines you can see yellow colors. In this Chardonnay you can see like a gold color too. The second one is smell the wine. You can smell, the more easy to smell are the fruits, you know. Maybe citric fruit, tropical fruits. In the red wines, red fruits. And the third one is taste.
Red wine.
You know, a fresh wine. This is a Petit Verdot from 2009 of our Fond de Cab Reserve line. Our Fond de Cab Reserve line is the more important, more popular in high quality wines, because it stayed in the market around 40 years ago and comes in 8 different varieties, 2 white wines and 6 red wines. This one is a Petit Verdot from 2009 who stayed 15 months into the oak barrels. Where you can see the 15 months into the oak barrels in the color of the wines. 15 months. Smell the wines, smell like a little oaky, and make the difference between that wine and the next one. The next one is a Malbec, are different wines, but make the difference between the time who stay in the oak barrels, because this one stay 15 months and the next one stay 18 months.
And both of these are exported to the U.S.?
Yeah, but with different names. There, in that display, you can see on the left, on the right side, you can see the wines who we have for the internal market. And the left side are the same wine, but for export. Okay. Change the label, change the...
So the left side is what we would look for.
Yeah. Left side, exactly.
I see.
Change the label, change the name, change the mode, and why is on marketing.
Yeah,
sure.
This name in the US for export, the name is Broquel. You know?
Right, that's the one that I recognize.
Exactly. Yeah?
Well, that concludes our tour of the Trapiche Winery. It's a beautiful day. We're on our way to winery number 2, where of course we're hoping that we get to sample a few more wonderful Argentine wines. Please stay with us. This is Top of the Morning. We're here at winery number 2, which is the Bodegas Lopez. This is a much older winery, and it appears to be much larger. I'm standing in front of a cask, which is very old. It holds some wine, a lot of wine, as you can see based on the size. We're going to be taking the tour, yet another tour, but this winery is much bigger, so let's see how they do wine at the Bodega Bakery. Let me try that again, at the Bodegas Lopez Winery. Finally got that right. Okay, let's continue on. I'm going to have to be careful on my wine tasting. Okay, it's kind of noisy, so I hope that you can hear me, but here are some grapes that are been dumped by the vineyard truck, and you can see the device in the bottom there is slowly crushing the grapes. It's very noisy in here, but I wanted to show you these very big tanks. The grapes go there right after the stems and leaves are taken away. They sit there for a few days to let things sort of settle and the fermentation start, and then they go up here to this crusher you see slowly revolving around. We're at the portion now where they put the better wine in these very large casks, and they age for 6 years. And now here's something interesting. At the end of the 6 years, they take the wine out, and a very small person, and I'm not making this up, a very small person crawls inside there with a oxygen mask on and cleans the inside of the barrel before they refill it with wine. We're now going to the bottling plant where it may be a little noisy. Here we are at the bottling plant. It's a little noisy, but I hope you can hear this. This is where the bottles get their labels. You can see that they already have the cork in the top. Here's where they get the labels, and in a moment we'll see where they get put in the box. This young lady has an exciting job. She looks at the bottles to make sure that everything is right. All the labels are exactly the way they should be, and if they're not, she then takes off the label and starts all over again. It has to be an exciting job when you think that she probably does this 8 hours a day. There's a pallet of wine. It's about to be taken by the forklift and put into storage, making ready for shipment to the United States and other parts of the world. That completes the process. Next we're going to the wine tasting, so please stay with us.
Same brand of the winery. This is the top, the best brand that we have here at the winery, the premium. This is an extra brut, so it means that it has 7 grams of sugar per liter. It's not dry and it's not sweet. It's in the middle. It's perfect. Okay? Perfect. Perfect. And beautiful. Yeah, it's a blend. It has Chardonnay, Semillon, and Pinot Noir grapes. Okay, Pinot Noir is a red grape, but we have, during the fermentation, we have just take all the skin and seeds out of the tank, and we start the fermentation with our white wine. Okay? So, this sparkling wine was elaborated with a method that is called Charmat. Okay? All the sparkling wines needs a second fermentation. For that second fermentation, there are 2 methods. Maybe you will know one, that is the champagne one. Okay, that is a French method. And the other one is an Italian method, that is Charmat. Okay, this sparkling wine was elaborated with the Charmat method. Have you ever heard about it? No. Okay. So what we do is to put the white wine that we have elaborated here at the winery. We take it to the sparkling wine facilities. We put it inside stainless steel tanks, and then we add sugar, okay, and yeast. We close it, and there starts its second fermentation. Okay? It produces carbonic gas, and being closed at time, that carbonic gas can get out, so that's why the sparkling wine has natural bubbles. Okay? Okay. After that, what we have to do is just to add sugar, just to make it sweeter or dry. Okay? Then, second one. So we have the red wine. The brand is Casona Lopez. This is a really exclusive brand for the winery because we don't sell this wine in any supermarkets. We just sell it here. Okay? This is a Malbec, the best grape here in Argentina, in Mendoza. 100% grapes Malbec. The harvest is 2008. Okay, so that means that it has stayed 2 years inside the cask. Okay, you're gonna feel it really smooth, really easy to drink. Be careful, okay? You're gonna smell the red fruits and you're gonna feel it really light in the glass. Okay? Ready to start? Yes!
Yes!
Well, that concludes our tour of the Bodega Winery. It was founded in 1898. It's a massive production. It appears to sell or make much more wine than the previous winery that we saw, but still a fine quality product. So we're on to our 3rd winery. Please stay with us. It's coming to you from Argentina, from the province and town of Mendoza. Well, you can only drink wine so long, and so we're now going to stop for a little lunch. We're going underneath a grape arbor, most appropriately. So let's see what's for lunch today in Mendoza. So we're here at El Rancho for lunch. It's a beautiful old estancia. We've got grape arbors welcoming the guests. So let's go inside and see what we have for lunch. Well, we're about to start our lunch.
Yes.
You can see that there's a variety of meats and cheeses available. We're hoping, of course, to have some great Malbec wine.
Oh, really?
Our serving attendant is just about to come in and tell us.
If you prepared for 5, we prepared the table for 5 in case a guide came or we could invite our guide. We have a. Would you like to have him on the table and eat with you? Malbec, carrots and maize carrots, rice and Malbec, beets and Malbec.
Wow.
Lemon, egg, black beans and vinaigrette, oranges, the sauces you have in the center, smoked mayonnaise, right here, liver mayonnaise, pumpkin mayonnaise, gourmet mustard, homemade ketchup.
Oh my, homemade
Then we
ketchup.
have quinoa, quinoa,
Quinoa.
it's like a cereal,
There you go.
Ah, okay.
green olives, carrots and vinaigrette, chili peppers, lubias, roasted garlic, black olives, quail eggs.
Oh my, roasted garlic.
And potatoes.
Yes.
And Matt,
Okay.
where are you from?
I'm from Miami, Florida.
There you go.
Yeah, I thought this
Miami, Florida.
California, from LA.
Wow.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, that English is very good.
Well, we've moved outside for our dessert, and I think Susan's found the perfect combination of vanilla ice cream with dulce con leche, which is the topping. It's a sweet topping, and Malbec wine. So anyway, we're almost done with our lunch here, and we're going to visit our third and final winery. Please stay with us. Well, lunch is through, and we're on our way back to the car. Just wanted to show you that these are real grapes hanging from the arbor.
Unexpected.
We've got Susan conversing with our driver. We're getting ready to head to our third and final winery. We've just arrived at our third winery, Vistandes. This is supposed to be one of the upper scale wineries. The building itself is certainly upper scale, so let's go inside and take a look and see what we can do on our tour.
Manager,
Yeah, that was
very
really
nice. Yes, and also exports to 80 countries, so
Yeah.
it's the biggest winery in Mendoza.
Yeah, very nice.
So what do you know about harvest?
February through April.
Very good. In March we celebrate when it's vintage, yes? We select a queen of vintage for representation of Mendoza and the wines
I'm the
in
queen- I'm
Argentina
the queen of
and the world. There she is. Okay, remember it's summer down here, so average temperature 30, 45 degrees Celsius.
45, wow.
And also, compared to France, for example, harvest is done by hand. Okay, we don't use machines not to harm either the plants or the grapes. Okay, when we have the grapes, the first thing we're going to do is weigh them. Yes, outside you see there is a gray square on the floor. See, that's a scale. Yes, the trucks will be leaving all the grapes to know how much production we'll be having. 1.3 kilos of grape equivalent to a liter of wine.
1.3 kilos.
A liter.
Okay, so that's 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
4 pounds. Makes three
Yes,
something.
two something. So second step, we're going to take out all the woody structure of the grape, what the French call sarment. That will be all the branches, the stem, the leaves. And when we have the single grapes, they are placed in a belt where the workers will classify the ones in good state and the ones that aren't. Okay. And the last step for red wines, they are crushed in a machine called hopper. Yes, where everything will be broken: seeds, skin, grape juice. White wines, we put all the grapes. 2 machines will compress the grape. Okay, squeeze the grape. And that's how you make white wines out of red grapes. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yes. And the best example is Pinot Noir. Okay. Pinot Noir is a red grape that's used for making champagne. Have you seen a red champagne?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Very good. Generally, champagne it's not red.
Right.
Yes. So you squeeze the grape to make champagne, and skin will provide the color.
Right.
Yes. In case of red champagne, you leave the skin in the touch of the grape juice. Okay. So when we have the must, remember it's the combination of skin, seeds, grape juice. We put it in this stainless steel tank for beginning fermentation. Yes. What is fermentation? Let's see.
The sugar and the yeast,
They make a kind of a thing, and you make alcohol.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
It's
right.
natural transforming from sugar to alcohol. Yes. Where do we find the yeast? In the same skin of the grape. Yes. So no, we never wash the skin not to lose the natural yeast. Temperature is very important. 16, 18 degrees Celsius to fermentate white wines, 26 to 30 when it's red. What happens if you add more temperature? You create a process called the murder of the yeast. Yes?
The murder?
The murder of the yeast. It's like that. Yes, you kill the yeast, you spoil the wine that it's in here. How much wine we keep here? 15,000 liters of wine. Imagine spoiling 15,000 liters of wine, it's not a very good idea. Temperature is very important to keep an eye on. Okay? 7 to 15 days takes the fermentation. The same fermentation will make CO2, sparkles, and will make all the sediments and impurities to go out. We open these little doors, we connect hoses to the holes you see next to each tank. Yes? All the wine will be thrown in huge bowls we have under this place. And what is left? Sediments, impurities, skin, cysts will go to the distillery for us to make beauty products with its essence for soaps, shampoos, creams, grappa. Yes, have you ever tried grappa?
No.
Whiskey, like Italian whiskey.
Exactly, it's kind of a strong tequila. Yes, aguardiente, pisco, for example.
the man that drinks
so
nothing.
you know that
That
anything is
knows
wasted.
all
Okay, any questions?
No.
No, you're doing great.
Yeah.
So better wines in Argentina or Brazil?
No, Argentinian wines are. Yes, Brazil is very hot, very humid, but they produce really good white wines in South Brazil.
Good white wines on the border with
Chardonnay.
Uruguay.
Better wines in
Blanc.
Argentina or California?
I think So, how to see the red wines? We don't do this far away. This far away it's black, it's kind of seeing a glass of Coke. Okay?
Yeah.
45 degrees on the floor, take advantage of the white floor to see the surroundings. See? There you should find the colors red, purple, violets, rubies. Yes? If you find brown, it means the wine is not good. Okay? After the 45 degrees, we're going to turn the wine a little bit like this. You put it just in front of your eyes. See the drawing that it's made?
Okay.
Yes? These are the legs, the tears of the wine.
Oh,
Cheers. I like that.
cheers.
Shows you how much alcohol the wine has. Shows you how much alcohol the wine has. As lower the tear means the better the body of the wine, the better structure.
I've never heard that term,
No.
tears. I've always heard leg, the legs.
Cheers.
Never heard the tears.
Yeah.
If you smell, you can smell it's been on French oak, remember? So a little bit smoky, leather, yes, maybe
It
tobacco.
tastes a little warm, I think. A little
Yes, you
personal,
think?
Did you taste it?
personal feeling, a little warm. But it's
Yeah.
I like it. Maybe not as complicated as other things.
Sorry for that.
It's okay. I gotta see.
Carmenere, characteristic is dehydrated tomatoes, for example, and some red fruits, maybe plums, maybe cherries that you find.
I like this.
I do. I've never heard of it. The two wines I have, petite.
Just try to open it a little bit. You can feel the tannins, so try to open it a little bit. Yes.
That completes our tour of Vega Vistantes. Vistantes means view of the Andes, and this place on a clear day does have a view of the Andes. So 3 wineries in one day, plus a great lunch. Tomorrow we're headed for the Andes. We're going to rent a car and drive up there ourselves. So please stay with us, because in that next segment we're going to be visiting the Andes, some of the highest peaks in South America. We're still in Mendoza. Many of you go to McDonald's in the States, but McDonald's in the States don't have wine. But here, Malbec wine, which is the premier red wine of Mendoza. They ship millions of gallons of it, good quality wine, to the United States. But here in McDonald's, with your Big Mac, you can have Malbec wine. Pretty cool. We're still in Mendoza. I think I mentioned earlier, tonight is the first night of the wine festival. Mendoza is the wine capital of Argentina, and they take their wine very seriously. As you can see, this fountain behind me has a fountain of wine. Well, all right, I'm being maybe a little facetious, but they have dyed the water to look like their famous vino. So we're looking forward to tonight. We're not sure exactly what to expect, but for right now, we've got a fountain of wine flowing right behind us. We've been promising you all week the wine festival in Mendoza. We are finally here, but we're talking with Sophia. And what's the name of your winery, Sophia? You need to speak a little louder because it's so noisy.
Oh, okay. This is Estancia Mendoza.
Instancia Mendoza.
This is Tupungato. It's the northwest of Mendoza.
So the northwest area of Mendoza. And what is your best wine that your winery makes?
It all depends. Malbec that are lovely. Those are different. They are
So you make a Malbec as well as a white wine. Besides, and Malbec is a grape that Mendoza is very famous for. It's like a Cabernet or a Syrah. It is a Cabernet. It's more like a Syrah or a Merlot. It's lighter. It's a lighter wine. Besides the Malbec, do you grow any other types of grapes? Other reds?
Yeah, we have Merlot.
The Merlot, all right. So they make a Merlot as well. Winery been making wines? How many years? When did it first start?
Well, it first started like 7 years ago. It's and it has different brands. For example, this one is called Canciller. This one is the oldest one. And we also have the Francia Mendoza that is like 10 years older.
That's very good. And do you ship a lot of your wines to the United States?
That's it.
This is my friends George and Stephanie. They're trying a premium wine.
No, I can.
You can buy a ticket and then you get to test wines. You can walk up to any stand and test any wine that you want.
So we're going to step over here.
And George or Stephanie, what are some of the key criteria that we've learned about red wine?
Well, it must be wet. That is, you've got to be able to pour it from the glass from the bottle into the glass, and then from the glass into your mouth. That's the primary requirement. We like it to be red, but it could be blue or yellow. It doesn't matter. And we're going to taste this now as a premium.
Tears.
We're going to look at the tears.
Now, some people call those legs, right? But in Mendoza, they're called tears.
Tears, and we're going to check out the color, although it's a little difficult here at night. And this is from Ruga Melin, and it's a Cabernet, and a premium Cabernet.
2009.
2009, and has competed successfully in France against some of the top French Cabernets. I'm going to
It was aged 9 months in French oak.
I'm going to take a sip now and pass it on to my wife, who will drink the rest of it.
All right. Good. I'm holding it the way I'd like.
You can tell we're having a great time here in Mendoza. We've seen a lot of things, we've done a lot of things, and George has some red wines, and things can't be all bad. But we have to move on. We're going to El Calafante, which is about 3 hours south of here by air. We're going to take an airplane this time, which George and Stephanie and Susan are happy to hear instead of the bus. So the next time you see us, we're going to be in El Calafante.